on the Upper Crossroad in Hudson early Wednesday morning. Upon arrival, crews found heavy fire on the right side of the house. Deputy Chief Thomas Reed said 2 adults and 3 children made it out without injuries. According to Reed, the location of the house did present some challenges. He said the narrow and rough road made it difficult for trucks to turn around. He added that some mutual aid crews had to walk, quote, quite a distance, end quote, to get to the scene. One firefighter was transported to a local hospital for evaluation. The fire is under investigation, but officials say it is believed to be accidental. A person is dead after a head-on crash in Randolph. Kennebec County Sheriff's Office Chief Deputy Chris Reed says authorities responded to a 2-car crash at 76 Water Street in Randolph Thursday, a little after 2 p.m. According to the report, all of the people were still trapped in their vehicles. Reed says 62-year-old Deborah Alexander of Gardner was driving one of the vehicles, and despite life-saving measures, she passed away at the scene. Her passenger, 18-year-old Troy Simmons of Gardner, was transported to Maine Medical Center with severe injuries. Reed says 51-year-old Marion Porter of China, who was driving the other vehicle, was taken to Central Maine Medical Center with severe injuries. Reed says the preliminary investigation shows Alexander's vehicle drifted into the oncoming lane and struck the other vehicle head-on. The crash remains under investigation at this time. A teen charged with 2 murders in Chelsea will be tried as an adult despite being 16 years old when the alleged crimes occurred. According to state police, 43-year-old Christopher Hunwell and his adopted son, 22-year-old Ty Carter, were found by state troopers dead inside a Chelsea home back in June of 2025. The teen accused of killing them is 17-year-old Jason Hunwell. He was a cousin to one of the victims who had taken him in. According to court paperwork, multiple factors were considered, including potential threats to public safety. There is no set timetable right now for when a trial might proceed. In other news here tonight, $30 million is on its way to 11 rural hospitals here in Maine. The money from the Department of Health and Human Services is intended to strengthen the long-term financial health and sustainability of rural hospitals across the state. A statement from DHHS says the hospitals were invited to participate after an analysis of key financial factors. The agency identified hospitals that would benefit the most from this one-time investment. Millinocket Regional Hospital, Mount Desert Island Hospital, Northern Light A.R. Gould Hospital, and Maine Health Penn Bay Hospital are among the recipients. Meanwhile, expecting mothers and doctors are calling it a crisis here in Maine. 9 maternity units have closed across the state in the past few years. This means longer and scarier drives to hospitals with delivery units. As Alison LaPierre reports, community leaders want to prevent another one shutting down on the Mid-Coast.
Efforts are underway to try and save a Mid-Coast Maine labor and delivery hospital.
And I want to be very clear. We are asking as loudly as we can for Maine Health Board to not close labor and delivery services at Lincoln Hospital.
Nurses and doctors, community members, and state leaders rallied outside Portland City Hall this morning. They hope to prevent Lincoln Hospital's Miles Campus Birthing Center in Damascotta from closing.
I am optimistic that with the motivation of all of us, Maine Health will change their position and work with us to save labor and delivery in Damascotta.
The Maine Health Board continues to discuss the future of the facility's birthing services. In a statement sent to us, a Maine Health spokesperson wrote in part, "At Maine Health Lincoln Hospital, the review of labor and delivery services remains in our established governance process. No final decision has been made." Several mothers living in rural Maine say there's not a lot of options for giving birth.
I was living rurally. The hospital had closed. I had to drive into the city, which was 45 miles away, and it was a terrifying ride. Is the car going to stop? Am I going to hit the traffic into the city? Am I going to get through the city without sirens and people stopping us?
Numerous state leaders addressed the concerns, including U.S. Democratic Senate nominee Troy Jackson.
Healthcare is essential, and in rural Maine we are struggling, and we have to have places like Miles stay open so that we can have people continue to live.
The rally finished with a march down Congress Street.
And that was Alison LaPierre reporting. To Penobscot County now, an HIV outbreak in Penobscot County is continuing to grow. A new case of HIV has been identified in Penobscot County, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 45. The Maine CDC says 91% of those diagnosed since 2023 have used injectable drugs, and 91% are also facing homelessness. The majority of those in Penobscot County living with HIV also have hepatitis C. 82% have been able to receive care. More information is available on the Maine CDC's website, including resources for testing and care, as well as safety tips and how to know if you're at risk for HIV infection. In other news, after 45 years of serving some of Bangor's most vulnerable populations, the Together Place has been forced to temporarily close their doors. Yesterday afternoon, they announced that they fell short of their funding goal by $75,000. This puts a pause on many of their vital services, including meals, local resources, recovery services, and shelter. Leaders of the organization are adamant that they're not giving up on their mission or the community they serve. Their doors will temporarily close, but board member President Shay Mullaney says they're aiming for this not to be a permanent goodbye.
It's an intrinsic part of recovery. We have a responsibility when somebody needs help. Our hand is always there. And that's what we're going to do. That's what we've been doing and hopefully continue to do. We love Bangor. I love Bangor. This has become my home. And I am honored to give back. This is the place where I got sober. This is the place where my life changed. And I just want to give that back to everybody else here. We all go through together.
Now, according to Mullaney, the Together Place does plan to reopen when it's possible. They're still accepting donations and say that every little bit helps get them further to that goal of reopening. To learn more, visit togetherplace.org. In other news here on the broadcast, a close call at the Blue Hill Fairgrounds yesterday morning. Officials with the fair say just before 8 a.m., a grass fire started and spread a short distance to their polling building, which also houses their Charlotte's Web exhibit. They credit the quick action of the Blue Hill Fire Department with the fact there was only minimal damage. Fair officials say, quote, "Without these dedicated folks who drop everything when their pagers go off, we would have lost a special building and exhibit. Thank you from the Blue Hill Fair and the thousands of fair patrons who will be able to enjoy their visit to us," end quote. All right, folks, let's hit pause and turn things over to Chase Ropenak, who's in now. The first look at our forecast. Chase?
Thank you very much. A nice warm start to the weekend out there for today. Mid-80s here in Bangor, and as you saw around us, a lot of us in the upper 70s and low 80s. You saw 81 in Millinocket for today, 79 in Greenville. As you head down to the southwestern portion of the state, many of us in the mid-80s as well, but 87 in Freiburg out there for your afternoon today. So for tonight, we can see a few sprinkles move through the central portions of the state, just north of town here in Bangor. Otherwise, many of us staying dry. As we go into tomorrow, we're going to get the sun back out in the afternoon. That should warm us into the mid-80s once again with a gusty south wind, but we can see a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms in the northern and western tiers of the state going into tomorrow afternoon. So here comes that wind throughout tonight and staying light and variable. For tomorrow, we're going to see those south winds gusting near 20 to 25 miles per hour all across the state, reaching up into the northern tier of the state as well, and we'll see those winds continue to stay a little breezy into your Monday. But otherwise for tonight, a lot of cloud cover out there, maybe a sprinkle or two, otherwise staying pretty dry for tonight with areas of dense fog and lows in the low to mid-60s.
Good to know, Chase. Thank you for that report. We'll see you later on in the broadcast. Folks, we'll have more news after the break, so stay right here. We'll be right back.
At Old Town Redemption Center, we are always ready to help with any fundraisers or bottle drives. We are here to help our community. Like and follow us on Facebook for upcoming weekly holiday giveaways and our monthly $100 drawing.
I went to work in the woods after high school. The harder we worked, the more that the companies took from us. That's why we organized. We made them listen. People are doing everything they can right and still cannot get ahead. Susan Collins keeps telling us everything is just fine. Who has she served? She has served Donald Trump. She has served the billionaires. She has served herself. We are getting screwed, and I'm running to change that.
Government That Works PAC's responsible for the content of this ad. Hank's Husqvarna is your trusted full-line Husqvarna dealer, offering you everything you need for your outdoor projects. From high-performance lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers to chainsaws, trimmers, battery-powered and powerful snowblowers, we have just what you need. Every piece of equipment is fully set up, serviced, and ready for use by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or new equipment sales, make your way to Hank's Husqvarna in Carmel or Newport.
It's a big, big deal. Summer is a big deal at Toyota.
It's the final days of Toyota's Big, Big Deal Summer Event, where you could get 4.99 financing on a fuel-sipping all-wheel drive Camry hybrid with a captivating interior and an up to 650-mile total driving range. Summer's a big, big deal at Toyota, the longest-lasting brand with the best resale value. So see your New England Toyota dealer.
It's a big, big deal.
Toyota, let's go places.
At Old Town Redemption Center, we are always ready to help with any fundraisers or bottle drives. We are here to help our community. Like and follow us on Facebook for upcoming weekly holiday giveaways and our monthly $100 drawing.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We turn now to the war between Russia and Ukraine. Russia launched strikes on residential areas of Kyiv overnight into today. Ukraine's State Emergency Service said 2 people reportedly died and 8 were reported injured after the building was damaged by falling debris and a fire broke out. Emergency services said 7 other people were killed and 14 were injured after the attack caused fire and damage to houses, vehicles, and an administrative and non-residential building. The strikes follow Ukrainian attacks yesterday that targeted Wildberries, Russia's largest online retailer. Ukraine says Wildberries makes gear that Russia's military can use in fighting against Ukraine, which Russia denies. The latest attack on Kyiv came 2 days after Russian ballistic missiles and drones in Ukraine killed 10 civilians and wounded more than 50 others. In other news, 450,000 student loan borrowers may be getting their debt forgiven following a massive settlement with the Department of Education. These student loan borrower plaintiffs argued their schools misled them with false promises that their education would lead to higher earnings, transferable credits, and stable careers. They also say the Trump administration delayed delivering the settlement they were entitled to. The $23 billion class action settlement has played out over 3 presidential terms. A federal appeals court denied Trump administration officials' request to postpone a decision on the applications at the end of July, which means another 200,000 borrowers could get their student loans forgiven. The advocacy group, which brought the lawsuit forward back in 2019, says dozens of schools were implicated for significant, quote, institutional misconduct, end quote. Many of the schools are now closed down. All right, folks, we'll have local news after the break, so stay right here. We'll be right back.
Blazing Trails, located in Lincoln, is your #1 trusted caregiver storefront. From personalized consultations to the highest quality product, Blazing Trails provides outstanding patient services to Eastern and Central Maine. Discover how we're blazing the trails of quality holistic medicine.
Mounjaro for type 2 diabetes.
Going up?
Actually, I'm going down.
Yeah, me too. My A1C's under 7%.
Mounjaro?
You know it.
My man.
Hey. Ouch. Since I started taking Mounjaro for my type 2 diabetes, I'm a bit of a Mounjaro magnet.
I lowered my A1C and I lost some weight. Check out my pants.
I'm good.
Okay.
Never a dull moment.
With Mounjaro, 3 out of 4 adults reached an A1C under 7% and maintained it. And some lost up to 25 pounds.
Like this gal right here.
Nice, Mom.
Don't take Mounjaro if you're allergic to it, or if you or someone in your family had medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or vision changes. Serious side effects may include inflamed pancreas and gallbladder problems. Taking Mounjaro with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar. Tell your doctor if you're nursing, pregnant, plan to be, or taking birth control pills. And before scheduled procedures with anesthesia. Side effects include nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting, which can cause dehydration and may cause kidney problems.
Hey, Mom, what do you say we take the stairs?
Stairs is a great idea.
Ask your doctor about once weekly Mounjaro. Paid partnership with Lilly.
Cancer affects everyone, but there is hope at Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center's Champion the Cure Challenge, where every dollar raised helps patients in our own backyard. Make a difference. Walk, run, or cycle August 15th in Brewer. Visit ctcchallenge.org.
Blazing Trails, located in Lincoln, is your #1 trusted caregiver storefront. From personalized consultations to the highest quality product, Blazing Trails provides outstanding patient services to Eastern and Central Maine. Discover how we're blazing the trails to quality holistic medicine.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Food insecurity is a growing problem here in Maine. According to a new report from Feeding America, more than 200,000 Mainers didn't know where their next healthy meal would come from last year. Our Alex Schley has more on the findings and how local organizations are trying to keep up with the growing need.
Thursday, Feeding America released the findings of a study looking at growing food insecurity in Maine.
That's a change from about 190,000 people to 203,000 people, right? So about 13,000 people more who are not certain where their next meal is going to come from. We also see in that number 50,000 children.
McCarthy says the recent findings were based on numbers collected during 2024.
So what we know from firsthand experience here on the ground is that hunger is likely even higher than that in today's reality because those numbers don't reflect federal changes to food programs that have gone into place in the last 18 months.
McCarthy says the study reveals that rural communities, specifically those in Washington County, were adversely affected by individuals facing food insecurity. Chris Street, the nutrition director for Eastern Area Agency on Aging, which provides Meals on Wheels for residents in Penobscot, Hancock, Piscataquis, and Washington counties, say they have seen this firsthand.
Especially for those on our Meals on Wheels program that are really in deep need of good nutrition, that the referrals that we've seen come in for that have increased by about 100% over the last 2 years. We used to average about 20, 25 referrals every single month, and we're starting to get into the 50 to 60 per month across our four counties.
Street says while the increased demand is putting increased stress on nonprofits, they are continuing to work every day to help Mainers in need.
To see people struggling to get the food that they need, and in seeing that not even just being food insecure is their only issue, but it's a root cause of many of the other problems, health concerns that they end up having.
Alex Schley reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
More than 100 riders took part in the annual We Ride for Vets charity motorcycle ride today. Central Maine Harley-Davidson partnered with Jarhead's MC Dirigo crew to put on the 4th annual ride. Organizers say the ride is about more than motorcycles. It's about honoring those who have sacrificed for our country and giving back to veterans in need. All proceeds benefit the Maine Veterans Project, an organization dedicated to reducing veteran suicides through various programs and services.
Whether you ride a motorcycle or you don't, I think that we should all do our best to support our local veterans in any way that we can, through our time, our money, and our efforts.
Oliver said more than 150 people took part in this year's ride. The post-ride celebration also featured local vendors, raffles, and live music. According to Oliver, the event has helped raise over $10,000 for MVP over the last few years. All right, folks, we'll have more local news after the break. We'll be right back.
The stars of IndyCar look to chase down Alex Palou in Portland.
Palou will take the victory!
Sunday, August 9th on Fox. Welcome to the fastest racing on Earth.
There's a lot to love about a Subaru. Find yours at Quirk in Bangor. Built on safety and reliability, lease Crosstrek Premium for $329 per month. Or lease Forester Wilderness for $397 a month. It's a Subaru summer. Find it at Quirk.
Your call is important to us.
You've heard this before, too many times. Tired of being customer 45978? Yeah, we would be too. Speed means fast uploads, no lag, and zero buffering. But it also means calling you back, showing up on time, and treating you like a person, not a problem. So whether you're working, streaming, gaming, or all three, it is time to make the switch to a provider that actually tries. Go NetSpeed. Service isn't dead. It just moved local.
Keep your boat safe, functional, and beautiful with a Shoremaster boat lift from Hammond Lumber Company. Your Hammond sales rep can help you choose the perfect lift for your boat. Shoremaster's exclusive Whisper winch offers the industry's smoothest and quietest operation. Add speed and convenience with a Shoremaster lift motor. And Shoremaster's modular Infinity design makes it easy to upgrade with accessories when you're ready. Take your boating experience to the next level with a Shoremaster boat lift from Hammond Lumber Company.
What is Spectrum Internet? It's the most reliable internet.
It's connecting with my followers out there and in here.
It's secure internet for you and your family.
It's keeping kids like us safe online.
It's Wi-Fi that stays on even when the power doesn't.
Staying connected no matter what.
So what's Spectrum Internet? It's everything you want it to be. Switch today at spectrum.com.
It's a hot leasing summer at Quirk Hyundai. Lease a 2026 Hyundai Tucson SE just $259 a month, or Elantra Hybrid for only $229 a month. Premium vibes, bold lines, and America's best warranty. Your Hyundai is waiting. Find it at Quirk.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back, I'm Doug Banks. As summer in Maine reaches its peak, one of the state's most treasured agricultural resources begins its prime as well. Our Sam Miller has the story.
From late July to early September, Maine's fresh wild blueberry season is in its prime, and local farms are already hard at work.
We're a third of the way through our harvest and probably still have another 3 weeks to go.
Williams Family Farm in Clifton has started their blueberry production process, gearing up for a season that drives a large portion of the state's agricultural economy. While most growers sell their berries to processors, the Williams farm does everything from start to finish themselves before delivering them. Every day, blueberries are harvested and offloaded by the truckload. According to farm co-owner John Williams, this is where the real fun begins.
We put it through the process line. The machinery does a lot of taking the leaves and the sticks out, and even takes a lot of the green berries and soft berries out. And then by hand we have to finish and get the remaining stems and green ones out before they're put in packaged in a quart. It's basically ready for sale at that point.
On Thursday, the farm delivered 2,600 quarts of blueberries, their biggest yet. Williams says this is a great sign that the season will be fruitful.
It's a very good season. It's a good crop. You know, whether it's someone small like us or the big growers, it's going to be a good crop. And last year was an awful season, so that's going to be a big boost to all the people. It's much needed.
Williams Farm is open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. In Clifton, Sam Miller, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, this weekend is all about the state berry. Since 2021, Governor Janet Mills has proclaimed the first weekend in August as the Wild Blueberry Weekend, in celebration of wild blueberries and the Maine processors and growers that harvest it. Our Grace Blanchard went to a farm in Penobscot today and has a story.
This weekend, people across Maine are celebrating Maine's state berry.
Blueberries are great. We love blueberries. But also just like supporting the local farmers who are putting so much work into growing the blueberries.
August 1st and 2nd was proclaimed by Governor Janet Mills as the 6th annual Wild Blueberry Weekend.
Just learning about the pretty big piece of the economy that you don't always see. You just see it in the grocery store, but you know, there's real people behind the scenes making it happen.
Among those people behind the scenes are the owners of Blue Hill Berry Company in Penobscot, who have been farming certified organic wild blueberries for nearly 3 decades.
We're trying to certainly help the industry overall by raising awareness and appreciation for, what is our native crop.
Maine produces nearly 100% of all wild blueberries in the U.S.
You have specialized equipment that harvests the berries. We bring them in here to our facility. We have the equipment that specially processes them. This is called fresh pack blueberries.
Last year alone, Maine farmers harvested 55 million pounds of wild blueberries. Lindholm hopes Wild Blueberry Weekend puts a spotlight on the farmers driving this sector.
It's not an easy industry to survive in as a grower, so getting to know who the growers are and what it takes to produce this fruit is something that I hope everyone goes home with.
In Penobscot, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, folks, Chase Ropanak is in next with your full 5-day forecast, so stay right here. We'll be right back.
We're lucky to live in Maine. We have a wealth of natural resources, hardworking people, and time for the things that matter. Mechanical Services is all about Maine, with energy efficiency that protects our environment and helps businesses grow. Preventive maintenance and energy solutions that save money. How Maine is that? Mechanical Services. We're everywhere you are in Maine.
Got old metal and junk cars? Turn that clutter into cash at Daddy and Daughters. We make recycling easy, fast, and fair. From Skowhegan to Dover Foxcroft, from Troy to Lee, you can trust our certified scales and friendly service, offering top prices for junk vehicles in Maine. Whether you drop off or we pick up, Daddy and Daughters covers Central and Eastern Maine. Come see us at one of our 4 locations and watch your scrap pay off. Daddy and Daughters turn scrap into cash.
Craving something delicious? Welcome to High Street Market, located at 167 Enfield Road in Lincoln. Breakfast options? Grab a cup of coffee and try one of our sandwiches or burritos. When breakfast is over, we're just getting started. Pizza, subs, burgers, and pastries. Come get lost in Danny's Beer Cave. Order online and save 10% off your first order. High Street Market, where your taste buds go to party.
Are your gutters weighed down by debris causing them to sag and overflow? I'm Tony Hafford with TC Hafford Basement Systems. Clogged gutters lead to costly repairs for your home, so skip the cleaning and stop the clogs with Gutter Shutter. Gutter Shutter, the world's best gutter, is a high-performance gutter with a lifetime no-clog guarantee. Stop the clutter, get Gutter Shutter. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basementy.
Quiz with ball. Release the ball. Let's get it on. It's Cash or Splash.
Quiz with Balls, all new Mondays on Fox.
Thank you very much. A nice warm start to your weekend out there with mid-80s back here in Bangor and the southwestern portion of the state as well. Many of us in the mid-80s for today. Some areas a bit further north in the upper 70s and low 80s, but still very nice temperatures. Millinock at 81, 79 in Greenville, right at 80 in Clayton Lake out there for you this afternoon. Many of us in the low to mid-60s out there for tonight. There can be a few cooler spots and a few warmer spots, but otherwise we'll see a pretty warm night overall with lots of cloudy skies, maybe a few sprinkles out there, but we do have low pressure slowly approaching from the west into tomorrow. It's going to bring a lot of cloud cover early on in the day and late in the day. We should still get some sunshine during the afternoon, so I do think that will boost our highs back into the mid 80s like we saw it there for today. We can see some low 80s making their way into the northern tier of the state, but we got to get that sunshine. Same for the southwestern portion of the state as well. So average highs this time of year around the low 80s. If we get enough sunshine for tomorrow, we should be right back into the mid 80s. But Monday is going to be the day where we see a lot of cloud cover. The cold front's going to be passing through, showers and thunderstorms, so a big drop in temperatures is expected. We'll see low 70s then, but no issues warming right back up. Low to mid 80s Tuesday, upper 80s for Wednesday and the Thursday. A few of us could be in the 90s. Fronts will come through Thursday. Friday and the Saturday we'll see slightly cooler temperatures, but still above average, hanging out in the mid 80s. So it is summertime still. We still expect these warm temperatures around here. So winds tonight will be a little light out there, but as we get into tomorrow, here comes that breeze again from the south, gusting near 20 to 25 miles per hour. Mainly seeing that here inland and north. Along your coastline will actually be a little bit better off. But as we go throughout Sunday night, it still stays a little breezy. That's going to continue into your Monday afternoon as well. We'll still see gusts near 20 to 25 miles per hour as that cold front passes through the state. So for tonight, maybe a sprinkle or two ahead of that front. Otherwise, a lot of cloud cover. But into tomorrow afternoon, this is where we can get some sunshine. So this will help us warm into the mid 80s. Add a little bit of instability and energy for chances for showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the northern tier and the western tier of the states. Right along that border is where you're going to see those showers and thunderstorms pop off. The rest of us look to stay pretty dry for tomorrow. Now, here we are around 10 o'clock. The clouds make their way back in, right? This leads to a warm night. We can still see thunderstorms in the northern tier of the state, but we have much better chances. Here's Monday morning into Monday afternoon when the cold front passes through. This will really cool us off, bring us beneficial rainfall. The storms look to stay non-severe. Some of these can bring some heavy downpours, as you can see, but no chances really for severe weather out there. So other than that, we'll have a cloudy, cooler day Monday with a lot of rain on the way, which is what we need. So for tonight, we got lows in the low 60s, lots of clouds out there. A few sprinkles are possible. Otherwise, many of us staying dry for tomorrow. We're right back in the mid 80s with some sunshine during the afternoon, but there'll still be partly to mostly cloudy skies throughout the day as well. The best chance for thunderstorms for tomorrow is going to be in the northern tier of the state. Taking a look at your extended forecast, we cool off Monday with that cold front in the area. Low 70s then, widespread showers and thunderstorms staying non-severe. The sunshine returns Tuesday and the Wednesday, and we warm right back up. And Wednesday and the Thursday, we're looking at upper 80s with a slight chance for storms heading into your Thursday afternoon.
Something to keep an eye out for. Thank you, Chase, for that report. Folks, an Orono High School alum is now a 3-time title runner. That story is next here on Fox 22 News at 10.
Bogies offers a different kind of night out in Bangor, blending a full restaurant with sports simulators, axe throwing, and live music. We have something for everyone. Bogies, a new way to play.
A few weeks ago, I went down to the basement to see what was happening with the boilers and opened the door, and there was about 12 to 14 inches of water in our basement. I knew who to call right away, and that was Bouchard. They were here within a half hour. They work well with our insurance company. They're very, very efficient, and all I have to do is call them any time of day. They're going to take care of me. Our business is our life, and that's why I don't hesitate to recommend them to other people.
30 years living that Washington, D.C. lifestyle. That'll change a person. Getting rich from insider stock trading should be illegal. But Susan Collins doesn't think so. Susan Collins wants to keep it so senators can play the stock market, make millions of dollars doing it. Why we struggle to pay for gas, groceries, health insurance, the basics. For them to get all that money, why we're paying more, it's not right. It's not right. Tell Susan Collins to stop this congressional stock trade.
Bogies offers a different kind of night out in Bangor, blending a full restaurant with sports simulators, axe throwing, and live music. We have something for everyone. Bogies, a new way to play.
Something stinks, and I'm not just talking about the food.
I don't want to give up.
We're going to start again, and we're going to rebuild this thing.
Kitchen Nightmares, all new Tuesdays on Fox.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. I'm Doug Banks. Orono High School alum Ruth White is now a 3-time Maine women's winner of the TD Beach to Beacon 10K. She finished the race today at 34 minutes and 5 seconds. Very impressive. The current University of New Hampshire star also claimed the same title back in 2023 and last year, 2025. That's very impressive there. Congratulations to her. The overall men's and women's professional titles were swept by 2 recent University of New Mexico graduates, Habtom Samuel and Pamela Koski, who finished at 27 minutes and 40 seconds and 31 minutes 50 seconds, respectively. The annual 10K was held today down in Cape Elizabeth. Well, one of the most beloved parts of the Maine Lobster Festival is the annual running of the crate races. And if you've never seen it, it's quite the athletic feat, combining endurance and balance as contestants try to quickly maneuver over the submerged crates to reach the other side. Contestants rack up points by how many crates they are able to traverse, running back and forth. There are multiple divisions for competitors, both young and adult. You can register for the races in person on the festival grounds down in Rockland. Here at ABC 7 and Fox 22, we'll be broadcasting the races live from Rockland tomorrow, starting at 2 p.m. Our Beth Jones and Craig Colson will be on the scene. Hope to join us there for a highly unique and iconic main event. All right, folks, we'll have more news after the break, so stay right here. We'll be right back.
Blazing Trails, located in Lincoln, is your #1 trusted caregiver storefront. From personalized consultations to the highest quality product, Blazing Trails provides outstanding patient services to Eastern and Central Maine. Discover how we're blazing the trails of quality holistic medicine.
We've got a 100-year-old company here, and it's because of the service, the quality, and the experience. It gets done right.
I think we've been doing it for so long. The only thing that we do, that when we walk into a room, we automatically know how to treat that window. We can take any product that the customer's looking for and make it work in just about any situation that they present us with. So
there's no reason to be overwhelmed. No. We can help you through it.
We're not going anywhere. We've been around for 100 years.
I have 2 teens whose stomachs are bottomless pits. Good thing Hannaford has all of our favorites at everyday low prices.
Back again, Ted?
Yep. Every week I tell myself I'm buying too much pasta. Every week I'm wrong.
Same time tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, they're bringing home friends.
Hannaford has everyday low prices on thousands of items you use every day.
Hey.
If you know, you go.
I gotta go back to the store. They're bringing home friends.
Hank's Husqvarna is your trusted full-line Husqvarna dealer, offering you everything you need for your outdoor projects. From high-performance lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers to chainsaws, trimmers, battery-powered and powerful snowblowers, we have just what you need. Every piece of equipment is fully set up, serviced, and ready for use by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or new equipment sales, make your way to Hank's Husqvarna in Carmel or Newport.
Live from the Maine Lobster Festival in Rockland, it's the Lobster Crate Races. Watch fearless racers dash across floating lobster crates. Will they make it or take a spectacular splash? Who will stay on their feet and who will take the plunge? Don't miss the Lobster Crate Races live from the Maine Lobster Festival, Sunday, August 2nd at 2 p.m. only on Fox 22.
Blazing Trails, located in Lincoln, is your #1 trusted caregiver storefront. From personalized consultations to the highest quality product, Blazing Trails provides outstanding patient services to Eastern and Central Maine. Discover how we're blazing the trails to quality holistic medicine.
Hit it. Jamie Foxx and Beat Shazam are back. $1 million. Can you beat Shazam? Hit it. Beat Shazam, all new Tuesdays at 9 on Fox.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The Bangor State Fair kicked off on Thursday, and while rides like the Ferris wheel bring excitement, the agriculture section gives the public a look into a vital Maine industry. Our Calvin White has the story.
The Bangor State Fair sees thousands of visitors from across Maine every year who go on rides, eat carnival food, and listen to live music. But away from those festivities, inside the Cross Insurance Center is perhaps the fair's most important area, the agriculture section. According to the fair's livestock superintendent, Jesse Caron, the agriculture section is often busy, but this year there's an extra effort to expand its reach to younger people.
We're pushing hard, this fair especially, we push hard for educational. We have a facility that we can have classroom space, stuff like that, so we have different instructors coming in throughout the weekend for the youth and public if they want to come.
The education doesn't end in the classrooms though, as the farmers who show off their livestock at the fair are excited to answer questions someone may have as they walk by all of the calves.
I think there's a true disconnect between what the public knows about where their food comes from to what actually happens. So we're kind of here to fill in any gaps or questions that they have, and we're more than happy to answer questions that they have.
Friday, the agriculture section of the fair held a dairy and beef show, where farmers showcased their cows and were judged. The contestants walking the cows, and many of those taking care of the cows during downtime, were youth. Bagley says the youth turnout is promising for the future of agriculture in the state and country.
That's extremely important as well because we need farmers to feed America and to keep ag going.
The fair will continue till August the 8th. In Bangor, Calvin White, ABC 7, and Fox 22 News.
And finally here tonight, it was a rare opportunity yesterday for those on board and on land as the gaff schooner Harvey Gamage docked at the Bangor waterfront. Her arrival is part of an immersive tour of the Penobscot River, and those I spoke with yesterday hope it won't be the last.
It's something different to see her on the waterfront here on a Friday afternoon.
It was a spectacle for spectators as they watched the gaff schooner Harvey Gamage dock at the Bangor waterfront. She began her trip Friday morning in Bucksport. Her waterfront arrival is part of the 4-port loop put on by the Penobscot Maritime Heritage Association, which takes passengers on a voyage of the Penobscot River.
This was the interstate system years ago.
With stops in Bucksport, Searsport, Castine, Bangor, and Brewer. According to the association's president, ambitions to create the 4-port loop tour set sail 3 years ago when the Santa Maria traversed the Penobscot.
And it was so overwhelming in Bucksport you couldn't find a parking spot.
This year's immersive tour celebrates America's 250th anniversary, and he says plans are in place 3 years from now to honor the worst U.S. naval defeat prior to Pearl Harbor.
The Penobscot Expedition.
Built in 1973 in South Bristol, Maine, the Harvey Gamage stands approximately 91 feet tall and 131 feet long, a representation of the state's wooden boat-building tradition, serving as an educational vessel for over 5 decades.
And they learn how to jib the sails and manage the ship, and by the time they're through in 1 week, they can do it themselves.
Various vessels dock here in Bangor, but because of the height of the Veterans Remembrance Bridge, it's a rare opportunity when a ship like the Harvey Gamage makes its way to the waterfront.
We don't see them very often this far upstream, so it's a unique opportunity for spectators here in the community and from around the region.
The vessel began its return voyage to Bucksport at 2 p.m. In Bangor, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News. That is all we have for tonight. I'm Doug Banks, and for everyone here at Fox 22 News at 10, thank you for watching. We'll be back here tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, and hopefully you are too. Until then, take care and good night.
Mounjaro for type 2 diabetes.
Going up?
Actually, I'm going down.
Yeah, me too. My A1C is under 7%.
Mounjaro?
You know it.
My man.
Hey. Ouch. Since I started taking Mounjaro for my type 2 diabetes, I'm a bit of a Mounjaro magnet.
I lowered my A1C and I lost some weight. Check out my pants.
I'm good. Never a dull moment.
With Mounjaro, 3 out of 4 adults reached an A1C under 7% and maintained it. And some lost up to 25 pounds.
Like this gal right here.
Nice, Mom.
Don't take Mounjaro if you're allergic to it, or if you or someone in your family had medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or vision changes. Serious side effects may include inflamed pancreas and gallbladder problems. Taking Mounjaro with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar. Tell your doctor if you're nursing, pregnant, plan to be, or taking birth control pills. And before scheduled procedures with anesthesia. Side effects include nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting, which can cause dehydration and may cause kidney problems.
Hey, Mom, what do you say we take the stairs? Stairs is a great idea.
Ask your doctor about once-weekly Mounjaro. Paid partnership with Lilly.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. Call today for free information.
Call 800-550-5543.
Now, more than ever, all U.S. veterans need your help. If you have an old car, truck, or van, you can donate it today and help them. And they'll come pick it up for free. Plus, the money raised helps our nation's disabled veterans and their families. Call the number on your screen right now. Within a few days, we'll come and tow it away for free, running or not. And the proceeds greatly help U.S. veterans. So please call right now.
You may kiss the bride.
A wedding reception crisis could have Gordon leaving them all at the altar.
I need to chill.
MasterChef, all new Wednesday on Fox.
You're watching Fox 22 Bangor.